What's good, Internet? It's your boy Jake here, dumb as ever, on my second channel, Smart Jake. Be sure to like and subscribe. And today I have, on Hallows Eve, something even scarier than Jason or Freddy. Corporate greed. During the London MCM Comic Con, where maybe it wasn't even in London, I don't know. But during MCM, Hasbro announced that they were doing 100 layoffs, and one of the people laid off from the company is John Warden, who is pretty famous in the Transformers fan community. He was the head of Transformers from pretty much Age of Extinction until the end of Kingdom, and then after Kingdom he came back for a little bit. But he's been with Hasbro for 25 years. A long time to be with one company. And he was just laid off a couple weeks ago, unexpectedly, out of nowhere, essentially. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I think it's a little bit ridiculous to fire, someone who's been with your company for 25 years. And we couldn't possibly know the inner machinations of Hasbro, what's going on, why they made that decision. People on Twitter are taking to blaming his name is Chris Cox. Hopefully the video doesn't get flagged for me saying that, but he's the CEO of Hasbro, and people are blaming him and, shit-talking him on Twitter. You never really know what's going on with a corporation, especially a big corporation like this. I worked at a small corporation where I was a manager, and I did have to have conversations about, firing people. But, usually we were firing people that were not doing the job, essentially. John Warden has headed some of the biggest Transformers lines ever. The War for Cybertron trilogy, I feel like brought a ton of people back to the franchise after the Prime Wars trilogy was kind of... people like it, but I personally think in retrospect it's a little bit mid. He was ahead of that as well, but then he topped himself with the War for Cybertron trilogy, so it just seems kind of out of nowhere. John Warden himself seems to be blindsided by the decision, I don't know. No one really knows what's going on or why it happened, or, Hasbro saying it's to streamline their process, whatever that means. Just remember this, if you're younger and you're going into the workforce, your job does not care about you. You're not a person to them, especially corporations. You're not a person to them. You're a number. You're assigned numbers, how much it costs to pay you, how many hours you need to work, that sort of stuff. You are a number to a corporation. And if they find that it's the best option to cut you for their numbers, that's what they're gonna do, no matter how much you give to them. John Warden is feeling this. Obviously, comic book artists are always feeling this, and comic book writers, they just steal the ideas from comic books and put them into the movies and don't give the comic writers anything. At best, they get a credit. At the very best. Yeah, I just hate corporations. I don't know what else to say about that. But I did want to touch on John Warden's GoFundMe, because he does have a GoFundMe page. And when I first saw it on TFW 2005, thank you for sharing this, TFW 2005, I kind of expected it to be like, John Warden wasn't expecting this, so he needs money to pay rent and stuff like that. Typical to GoFundMe. I'm not judging anyone who ever has to do that, obviously, but that's kind of what you see a lot. This GoFundMe is very interesting to me because his fiance, Megan Elderkin, suffers from a condition known as Crohn's disease. And it can be very painful and debilitating, sometimes may lead to life-threatening complications. She has gone through 20 lower abdominal surgeries in the past 15 years, ranging from untangling her lower intestines to resections to splicing living tissue together. And so that makes eating very difficult and painful for her because of all the scars and nerve damage. So what this GoFundMe is for a medicine called Skyrizi, maybe, that stabilizes her pain. He says a single dosage costs $21,000 for 2 months. A 2 months dosage is $21,000. That's a lot. That's what a lot of like teenagers make in a year when they're working at Dairy Queen. That is an insane amount of money for 2 months of a medicine. Without it to stabilize her Crohn's, she runs a risk of another abdominal surgery, which costs an average of $100K. So he's literally asking for the exact amount of money to pay for a single dosage of this medicine. Which, he's not asking for rent money, he's not asking for, money to buy groceries, anything like that. He is asking for, $21,000 to pay for a single dosage of medicine for his wife. So, I just wanted to make a video because I feel like this is a very worthy GoFundMe to donate to. If you are a Transformers fan, he has made so many figures, designed so many figures. Thrilling 30, Age of Extinction, Generations Combiner Wars, Titans Return, The Last Night. Oh, we don't gotta talk about that. Power of the Primes, Studio Series. He helped create Studio Series, if you're a Bayverse fan. And obviously, he had a hand in the War for Cybertron trilogy, which personally got me back fully into the franchise. It really makes me sad to see Hasbro treat their employee like this. Obviously we love toys and we buy the toys, but I'm not a slave to like corporate. Like, I'm not gonna say Hasbro's a good company. It's a bad company. Most companies are bad companies because they treat you poorly, like I said earlier. So I just want to make this video, shine a light on this GoFundMe campaign. It'll be a link below. Hopefully, if anyone watches this, they could help out John, so he can buy this medicine for his wife. It's truly insane how much medicine costs in the United States. They are criminals for charging this much for medicine, life-saving medicine. So yeah, thank you for watching, like and subscribe and all that, and yeah, my best wishes to John and his family.